I went back and looked. I went, hang on a second. This guy was undefeated when he got to the UFC. He started off with 3 wins in the UFC. Yeah, you exited with 3 losses. 2 of them were split decisions. Did you think that was fair of you to get cut? I mean, you're very colorful. You always delivered a good interview. I thought you were a good company man. I never felt like your fights sucked or anything like that. And you already have 1 win on the comeback road. But going back to the cut, did you think that was fair at the time?
You know, I accepted no matter how tight my losses were, which I believe 2 of them weren't even really technically losses. Like you said, split decisions. I still feel like I won those fights. But if you're 3 on the bounce, no matter the circumstances, I believe you should be cut. The UFC is, the top of the game, and I believe it's only going to do me the better to go away, reevaluate, settle my life, and then come back on a winning streak. So at the time when Joe rang me and we spoke about it, I was very accepting of the situation. I knew it was going to happen, and I didn't see anything wrong with it. I was obviously upset about it. I didn't want to leave, but
Right.
I knew it was going to happen. So I'm just all about getting back there now.
You already have your next fight planned after this. It's against Mayhem Miller. Seeing the problems that Mayhem has had in the past and even recently, is there a plan B in place should he not make the fight?
I bloody hope so. I really don't. I'm not a big fan of this fight. Really, I think Venator. My first fight was against their Italian champion, who they did like an Italian version of TAF, and they had a TV series and all this stuff over on Fox in Italy. And I fought their Italian champion, which was Mattia Scavalian, and that was a great fight. It was a bit of a war, but I came out the victor, and I was very happy with that experience. And Venator, they treated me very well, and the guys over there are good guys. And then they come and I say, listen, I'll fight whoever you want. I'm the champ. Just find somebody and I'll fight them. And they're like, we're going to make sure we get you a good opponent, blah, 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 blah. And they come back to me with this Mayhem Miller stuff, and I'm just like, this guy's obviously got problems. He's obviously got big problems. And if he wants to fight, he wants to fight. That doesn't bother me. But then he's on the internet giving out interviews where he's drunk or pretending to be drunk, or he's getting interviewed about beating women and all this stuff that's just not very good, in my opinion, for the sport and for the promotion. And then, worst of all, you get the guy who owns the promotion, Frank, coming out and backing the guy and saying how, he's trying to give him a second chance and all this stuff. And I just think the guy's crazy. I think it's not good for Venator, and I think in the long run it's going to not be great. And I think I'm the one who's got to fight him at the end of the day, and I'm happy to fight him if he's going to show up. But I don't want to have to deal with ifs and buts and him going to jail and having, it's just not what I'm looking for in my career. I'm looking for solid fights against solid opponents. And now we've got Frank out there, just, I don't know if he's smoking the same thing Jason Miller's smoking, to be on his side and be his friend and say everything's going to be okay. And I'm just like, just get me a solid opponent that's going to show up. I don't care about anything else.